Hey peeps! So it's been a hot second since I've been on here, and hopefully you're seeing this after I do a little video kind of explaining the direction of my YouTube channel content, whatever you want to call. I apologize for the stark scenery, but there's not a lot of color in this apartment. The walls are like that lovely beige color that most schools are painted because my apartment is literally an old school. So I tried to find the best place to do these videos, and this is going to be probably the standard scenery that you see. So you can enjoy the beautiful sights of my living room area. So anyway, hopefully I did do a video that kind of explains my direction. And if not, well, you know me. If you've been following me long enough, you know I'm kind of like a little all over the place. So I've been in Alaska for a couple months now, and I have been thinking about reviving in my channel, not solely just to get more exposure, but that would be kind of nice, but also to make this channel more about than just Alaska, because I may or may not stay here, so I want to be able to have other things to discuss. And when I first started this channel, it was supposed to be about my life and everything, and obvi, I'm in Alaska, so that's going to be part of what's going on. But we're getting into the colder part of the year, and I'm noticing that I'm not wanting to spend as much time outside. Even though I'm a Western New York girl, this cold is a whole different cold. So bear with me with the first couple of videos, because they might seem like, what, we were just doing Alaska stuff and now she's pulled a 180 on us. I have, but just keep in mind that the Alaska content will be coming, but it just may be in different format, if you will. So you can always feel free to check me out on TikTok, because I do a ton of TikTok videos because they're quick and I can get them right out there. And a lot of the TikTok stuff deals with Alaska life. So if you're really concerned about Alaska life, go check me out at TikTok, Still Tough Mom Unplugged. But if you're more concerned about me and how I'm dealing with everything from Sydney getting married to what I'm going to do after my first year here in Alaska, stick around, because that's what this video and the subsequent videos are going to be about. I apologize in the premise of me looking like a little rough, but I'm unplugged, so this is it. I'm not going to be perfect for you, and unless I do something really stupid, I'm not going to edit it out. Hence the idea of being unplugged. So I had an initial list of topics that I wanted to discuss when I first started my YouTube channel, and I'm recognizing that some of those topics might be difficult for people in my very inner circle to hear, i.e., I had some things I was going to talk about: being married to Sydney's dad, being married to my second husband, high school sweethearts, all of those things. So I'm still going to talk about some things, but I might do it a little bit in a more vague description, because I don't want to intentionally hurt anyone's feelings. Having said that, the people who I have been in romantic relationships with, they know who they are, and they know what occurred. So this is just my realization of the impact of those relationships, and then sort of how it has made me who I am today. So I'm not going to be throwing any shade on any of those people, but it might make some people feel uncomfortable hearing some of those things. So make sure in the subsequent videos you check the title, because if you don't want to know about the relationship stuff, skip those videos. today is not going to be about relationships. It's going to be about my decision to come to Alaska. Because I feel like that's the elephant in the room that I need to address. Because many of my friends and family have been very supportive of me coming here. It's all good. You don't have to understand why I chose to come to Alaska. No one has to. I'm the only one that has to understand it and make some sense of the decision that I made. But let me explain to you what brought me on this journey so you can fully understand what it took for me to do this. So I was born in Anchorage. My dad was in the military. My mom, dad, sister lived in Anchorage 3-4 years. But my dad got out of the service when I was just a baby. So I have no memory of Alaska. My whole time growing up, and I had to fill out those forms that, list your birthplace. I'd be so stoked that I could write Anchorage, Alaska. And some people would be like, yeah, right. And I'm like, no, my dad was in the military. And as soon as I could justify that my dad was in the military, then they understood why I might have been born in Alaska. But anyway, that stoked feeling was there, but just beneath that stoked feeling was this feeling of like, I need to be there. I need to go back. I need to see where I came from to know where I'm going. The allure of Alaska. So if you've seen my pictures and things from Alaska, you know that it's gorgeous, and there are big cities, big-ish cities, and very small villages and everything in between. And so when I decided to throw caution to the wind and apply to teach in school in Alaska, I knew I needed to pick a place that was not what I've been doing for the past 16 years. I've been teaching in a quote city school, and I knew that I needed to find a place that was not a city school. So I absolutely positively didn't even bother to look in Anchorage, Juneau, Fairbanks, any of those larger cities, because I wanted to find something different. I wanted that cultural experience. I wanted to see what Alaska was about. But before I could do any of those things, I had to come back to where I was born to try to figure out where I belong. So when Sydney and I came to Anchorage, it was just, I can't describe to you what it was like. Part of it was because I was sharing that experience with Sydney, and some of my best things in life I get to share with her. But it was also just, I felt at ease there. Living in the East Coast most of my life, I have felt like I've always had to be on the go. Boom, 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 boom. And everything has to be in order, and everything, everything's on a timetable, and just the utter ridiculousness of all of that. And once we touched down in Anchorage and we just kind of got our groove, the sun still being out at 10:30 at night when we first got there in August, it's kind of neat. And just everybody was friendly, and people talked, and no one was in a huge rush to do anything except, hey, where are you from? What's going on? And so I realized something about myself. I have never had an absolute drive to do one particular thing. I didn't go into teaching because that's what I wanted to do. I went into teaching because that's what I had to do. And that will come up in another video down the road. And so this journey of me coming here is not only about me figuring out where I came from to know where I'm going, but it was also a test for me to see if staying in education is what I need to do. Because the last couple of years of my teaching career have been not so exciting in the education department. I love my students. I love the camaraderie I have with my pals at work. I'm not gonna lie, I love the schedule. I mean, who doesn't like having summers off and weekends off? But they're not really off because, I'm still grading papers and doing professional development and all of those things. But I'm not having to go to a place on that weekend or during that holiday time. Whereas I know in other professions they do. But don't fool yourself into thinking that teachers don't do stuff outside of their school day. Again, another video, another time. I hated teaching the past couple of years. I've absolutely hated it. And the people who know me really well know that I would be fine with throwing it away and doing something different. So me coming here was me trying to figure out, is teaching still my jam? It's too early in the school year to figure that out yet. But, stick around. We'll figure that part out. But the thing that I realized, going back to that, the thing that I realized was that lack of drive or that lack of direction, perhaps, as some people might say, that's because I'm not wired that way. I'm not wired to be very compartmentalized. That's not how I'm wired. And granted, I lived 6 months here in Anchorage as a baby before we left. But I somehow feel like that vibe has embedded into me. And I think that's why I've always been kind of a little bit of the wanderer that I've been my entire life. And I think that's why oftentimes I don't take the most direct path in getting something, because #Alaskans do it different. And by default, I can claim to be an Alaskan. I am not indigenous. I am not a native. That's not what I'm saying. But I am an Alaskan because I was born here. That should give me some street cred. And trust me, with my students, it does give me a little bit. But I've been trying to jam myself into something that doesn't fit. And I've been doing that my whole life. And I've been living in the mode of survival probably since the age of about 23. And I'm now 45. That's a really long time to be in that mode. And being here, I don't have to be in survival mode. I can just live and experience things. And it is one of the most freeing and wonderful feelings I've ever had. Conversely, yeah, of course I miss my friends, my family, and my dogs, and my whole life in New York. But this opportunity is giving me the chance to really hone in on who this person is and what she really wants in the future, and not get caught up with all of that other noise that I would have when I was in New York. One of my very good friends has heard me say numerous times, there's so much noise in here. I just wish I could get it to be quiet. Guess what, folks? That noise isn't happening right now here. I'm learning to quiet that noise, and I'm learning to process all of those things. And if you want to call it a midlife crisis, go for it. It doesn't hurt me, whatever you want to say or discredit my adventure here. Go for it. Not going to hurt me any, because I'm doing things here that I've never been able to do before. And I'm learning about myself. And that's probably the other most important thing about this journey. I wanted to do it to see where I came from, to know where I'm going. That was number one. Number two, I wanted to see if it was teaching in New York that was killing my spirit, or if it's teaching in general. And so when the opportunity came, I could come to Alaska in a remote village. Hell yeah, I'm going to take that opportunity. And then the third one is, after being, very vocal about a lot of things in my life and being fiercely independent sometimes, so much so that I've pushed people away, I need to truly figure out how to be comfortable just with myself and love this person and be happy for this person and be able to process all the shit that I went through before, but know that in the end, all of those things made me who I am today. Doesn't make me a bad person, doesn't make me a good person, it just makes me who I am. If I continue to hold on to all that shit from the past and carry all that luggage with me on every journey that I take, I'm too busy dealing with all that to enjoy the journey, because I'm worrying about all that other crap from the past. I've checked all my baggage. Hell, I lost all my baggage coming to Alaska, metaphorically speaking. Although I did lose a package here. Anyway, whole other video. I finally feel comfortable in my own skin after 45 years. And all of those times when I was smiling behind the pain, to hell with that. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not going to pretend that everything's okay when it's not okay anymore, because life is too damn short to do that. So this video was really about the reasons why I came here, and nobody has to agree with it. But I will tell you that my closest family members and closest friends are 100% on board with me for this. And I appreciate them every single day for everything that they're doing for me while I'm here trying to live my best life, so to speak. But at the end of the day, I'm truly thankful that I took a leap of faith for me, and I'm counting on me to get me through this. That's just kind of my random thoughts on my reasons for coming to Alaska. And I'm finding it a little bit easier every single day to figure out how to acknowledge my emotions and be okay with them and not overanalyze them. And that, my God, that's a huge win for me. All right, everybody, I hope you have a great day. To thine own self be true. Be true to who you are, because you are the only person that's stuck with you every single day. So I hope you have a blissful day, and please take a moment to breathe.